Hi, I'm Danielle, and I'm about to take you through a week of my life as I am managing a lot. Managing tasks and my own energy, managing stress, and even managing another person. So I will share some tips along the way. Good morning! Or whenever you're watching this, this video is really about managing a lot, in really the most literal sense. I have a lot going on in my work life right now, and I actually just started with an intern this week, so I'm literally managing in that sense too. And I'm very happy to have him because I've got a lot on my plate. And he started yesterday, so it was just interesting with like trying to keep up with my inbox and train him and everything. So I'm sure to talk a little bit more about that later, but I'm kind of excited to share what my experience is with just managing a busy work life, crazy inbox, lots of expectations, and actually managing another person along the way. So I'll be pulling up in just a minute here. Hopefully I'm getting there just a few minutes before him so I can kind of set up a game plan for the day, and I'm sure we will catch up again in several hours. Alright, we're home. I actually just got back from dropping off a deposit on a new apartment. I'm really excited about it, and this is definitely a representation of the fact that I am both managing a lot in my work life and in my personal life, which I think is always a challenge to balance, but I'm doing my best. And today actually flew by. I was training the intern again and just doing my best to keep my inbox under control and teach him what I needed to teach him. And actually midday I got a call from my coworker. She's my age and also fully managing an intern for the first time by herself. So we're in a similar position, and she was like talking about the challenges and just trying to figure out how to map out her intern's time and handle her own inbox, and we were just kind of talking through for a few moments what worked, what didn't, and how we think we should go from here. And there are a few things we realized. I think because our job roles are so wide-ranging, I mean, for me, this is working in a co-working space and entrepreneurial community, and I basically manage one of the spaces and do all of the leasing and sales stuff. It's definitely a struggle to take care of all of that, and I think because there are so many different issues or to-dos or requests that come up in both of those areas, it's just, there's a lot of training to be done around understanding all of these different things. So what we found was that if we really narrow in on, okay, the intern can handle this specific piece of it and own it, they can learn everything they need to learn about this slice, take that and run with it. And since they're only with us for 3 months, that's really what makes the most sense. So I think we're gonna try that. I'm definitely learning a lot as a, new manager. But since I had to go drop off my deposit, I still have about an hour of emails left to answer, so I should probably go do that right now. So it's now 10:30 and I'm about to go to bed, but there's a couple of things that I like to do kind of before I wrap up the night, and that's just really to take care of my mental health and make sure that when I'm managing a lot, I don't get just completely overwhelmed. And the first tried and true thing that I always talk about is journaling. And so I've got my journal right here. I really like when I get in that habit of doing it every night. There have been times where I've done it every morning instead, and just right now, that night release is really helpful for me to just get out whatever is on my mind, whether it's something that happened earlier in the day, something that I aspire to in the future, or just anything that's occupying space in my brain. And then the second piece to this is actually something I'm trying to get back in the habit of doing, which is using a meditation app before bed. And I'm actually a yoga teacher, and so breathing is really important to me, and like remembering to breathe. And the meditation app is just something that brings me a little peace of mind, reminds me to breathe, and helps me to feel just a little bit more sane and relaxed before I go to bed. right, so it's the next morning and I'm about to leave for work and I'm gonna get there early before my intern gets there and just when I can be there in silence, because that's when I'm really gonna catch up on the few things that I really need to just have a handle on before the rest of the day flows through. And I think this reminds me of a strategy that I always go back to, and this is protecting those times where you work best. Meaning that you know when in the day is your most productive time, you know when you're most focused, and if you are able to block that out, whether that's getting to work early or, you know, blocking out time for those projects that are really important to you before you go to work, if they're personal projects, or, you know, negotiating at work so you can do some stuff from home later at night if that's how you work best. Just really thinking about what you really want to get done and when you really will work best in order to complete it, and trying to find a way to do that. So I'm gonna get there a little early to kind of push through some stuff, and that will be how I start my Friday. I don't always say this, but after a 4-day work week, I'm already ready for the weekend. I'm a little sleep deprived. So it's actually Saturday now. Yesterday was ridiculous. I worked 10 very intense hours, and I'll definitely share more updates, but for now I'm just gonna enjoy my weekend. I'm going to visit some of my boyfriend's family and we're just gonna have a good time. It's like 80 degrees if you can't tell from the redness of my face. Probably 90 degrees in this car, but we will chat more later. It's already Monday evening and I'm feeling so much better. I've actually been able to delegate some things to my intern, so that takes a weight off of my back, and, you know, continuing to train and stuff. Now that we've talked about managing a bunch of different things, I actually did not yet share my main tip for managing tasks, and I realized I wasn't following this last week. And that is to put all your tasks in one place. And this is a place that you check regularly. And I feel like all of my to-dos were just scattered all over the place. I had some in my email, some on a document, some that I forwarded to my intern, and even personally, I wasn't even writing down the things that I had to do just in my own life to move apartments and everything like that. So this week, I'm really setting the intention to keep all my tasks in one place, and honestly, I feel better already. Just knowing that everything is in one spot and not feeling like you're forgetting things seriously is such a relief. If there's any one thing I can recommend for managing your tasks, just keep them in one place and just check it as you go each day. So we talked about a lot here. We just talked about managing tasks and just making sure you put them in that one place to really keep track of them and stay organized. We talked about managing your energy by really protecting that time when you know you work best during the day. We talked about my first experience really managing another person and making sure that I'm really letting them own a slice of the responsibilities so that I can train for that and really trust them to follow through. And we talked about managing stress too, and I just really go back to, again and again, journaling and meditation, even if it's just for a couple minutes each night. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe so you get more videos about advancing in your career and personal development, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!